Did you know scrolling on TikTok is quietly destroying your brain and it's much worse than you think? So just listen to my story and I'll give you 3 reasons why that is, and maybe you'll never want to scroll on TikTok again after this video. I discovered TikTok in 2018 during the time it started becoming popular, and firstly it just seemed like a normal app. You know, there were these trends on TikTok and you could just do some fun stuff with your friends on TikTok and whatever. Like, it just seemed like a fun, friendly app at first. I remember my friends also showed me some funny TikTok videos, like there were these pranks and trends and highlights and whatever. There were so many videos you could just watch on TikTok at the time, and so I also downloaded the app and began scrolling. At the start everyone thought that TikTok was just a funny and friendly app. You know, you could just send some videos to your friends and also, you know, scroll yourself and also create videos by yourself. In 2018 I also made some cringe TikTok videos because I saw that TikTok videos were getting a lot of views and millions of likes, so I also made my own. I basically just made some cringe trends. I remember I recorded a video with my kendama. It was basically a Japanese toy that was really popular at the time, so everyone would be just creating videos of it, and so I did as well, and I got a couple of thousand views. However, then it became the norm to scroll on TikTok for hours and hours a day, so everybody would just be on their phones at all times, and I also noticed that I was also getting like a TikTok addiction myself, because these videos were just, you could get so much dopamine from these videos. So I scrolled for a couple years, bro, like until 2021 I just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled for hours and hours a day. However, then I deleted the app. I was so addicted to this app, bro, and I was even more addicted during the lockdown. Like, I would be scrolling for over 10 hours a day during the lockdown, so I just told myself that I would never be on TikTok again, so I just deleted the app forever. And when I deleted this evil app, I noticed that my brain was basically just healing. Like, my attention span went up, I could basically just focus much longer, I could be present, you know, focus on what the other person was saying, and so I felt really good, bro. So I got rid of this app 4 years ago, a really long time ago. However, I noticed that my brothers and my sister didn't. They didn't delete this app. They basically started scrolling on this app at the same time I did. However, they have been scrolling to this day, and I've been noticing that their brains are much worse off than mine is, because they're scrolling on TikTok. And so I'll give you 3 ways how TikTok has basically destroyed their brains, or at least the things I've noticed. Even though I've told them countless times to delete this stupid app, they haven't, so I've basically seen the effects that it has had on their brains. The first way how TikTok quietly destroyed their brains and is destroying your brain is the most obvious one, that it just decreases your attention span, bro. It, you know, you see those stimulating videos all of the time, those dopamine inducing videos, and you just, you know, these videos are 5 seconds long, 10 seconds long. Basically trains your brain to not have the ability to focus on something for a long period of time, so you can't even focus on a single sentence of a book. And first of all, you can't focus on the other person, bro. When you're talking to someone, you just can't even focus on anything they're saying. Today as well, when I went to the gym, I talked to a friend of mine that basically, you know, scrolls TikTok regularly for a couple hours a day, and so sometimes when I talk to him, he just can't focus on anything I'm saying. He kind of enters this NPC mode or wanders, his brain just wanders, and he can't focus on anything I'm saying, so I just feel like I'm talking to a wall, bro. Maybe you know someone as well who regularly scrolls on TikTok, and when you talk to him, he just cannot focus on anything you're saying, and he basically just enters this NPC mode, or you know, his mind wanders and he isn't even listening to anything you're saying, and he's just on his phone all the time, and you know, you feel like as if he's not even present, so you cannot even connect to that person. The second way TikTok is quietly destroying your brain is that it just makes you sad and, you know, leads to depression. When you scroll on TikTok, you firstly compare yourself to all the people you see on TikTok. See somebody who is richer than you or somebody who has more muscle than you, and so you just compare yourself to that person, and that basically leads to depression, bro. So you're just always sad, and also you see so much bad news on TikTok. The bad stuff, the bad news gets way more views on TikTok than all of the other news, so you're just constantly seeing those bad news, you know, those bad things that are going on in the world, so you basically just become sad and, you know, depressed and whatever. Like, it just isn't worth it to scroll on TikTok anymore. I gotta make this quick because my phone is almost out of storage. The third way TikTok is destroying your brain is that it just takes away valuable time. bro, you have 24 hours a day, but when you scroll on TikTok for 10 hours a day, you only have 14, and 8 of that is going to sleep. So you have 6, and you know, you're eating, and so you basically end up at 0. But when you use your time valuably, like read books or meditate or do some things that are actually good for your brain, then you hugely improve your brain. So you also hugely improve your life by just not being on your phone all of the time, by not scrolling on TikTok all of the time, just doing some other stuff with your time, with your valuable time, like reading books, like gaining knowledge. So the takeaway is that just stop scrolling on TikTok, bro. It may seem like it's a harmless thing, that it's just an app, just a social media. However, it's actually much worse than that. Like, it's basically programmed to waste your time, to, you know, lower your attention span, to make you less present, whatever. Like, it just destroys your life when you are addicted to this shit. So yeah, I really hope you got at least something out of this video. And yeah, if you want to see more content like this or how to stop scrolling, click on this video here. And so yeah, I believe in you, bro. See ya.